Welcome back to another high-level match of StarCraft 2. What I've got for you today is a best-of-5 series. That's the grand finals of the ESL Open Cup 169 for the Korean server. Game number 1 in the series, it takes place on the map Ancient Cistern and spawning right here in the top right-hand corner, playing with the blue Terran as CVs. We're looking inside of the main base of ByuN. And his opponent in the opposite corner with the red Zerg drones. He goes by the name of Dark. Alright, Dark versus ByuN. Probably the two players that I feature more so on this channel than anybody else. And that's because they consistently deliver amazing games. Now, if you're thinking the same thing as I was just about 5 minutes ago, these two, they do tend to face against each other very frequently, don't they? So I decided to look it up. Since 2020, they have played against each other in 150 tournament games. 150. Now, what's really fun about that statistic is that Dark has won 51% of the time. So they've been trading back and forth for a very long time. I mean, obviously they faced off against each other long before 2020 as well, but figured that would be a nice, round year to look at. They've played against each other countless times, and because of that, they know the opponent inside and out as well. And that only includes tournament games, right? Obviously, these two, they will be playing against each other on, well, just a ladder. I can imagine they probably also practice in custom games from time to time. They certainly know the opponent inside and out. Recently, it seems that ByuN has won the majority of their encounters. So we'll see if he's going to be able to continue that trend today as well. So, ByuN is starting off with one of those builds that he historically popularized and he proxied on the other side of the map. Back in the early days of StarCraft 2, or maybe of Wings of Liberty and... well, actually, I guess the best example I can give you is Legacy of the Void. Back in the early days of Legacy of the Void, this is a build that ByuN did all of the time. As a matter of fact, he won the StarCraft 2 World Championships. I don't want to say off of the back of Reaper proxies, but he certainly did like building those barracks on the other side, right? He certainly liked proxying them right over there. Over the last year or two, however, Reaper openers in general, they've sort of lost popularity. We don't really see them all too often anymore. I think it's primarily due to the fact that, well, the Reaper got nerfed a little bit, so the Reaper grenade damage is not as significant as it once was. For example, I think that drone would have been in a lot of trouble. Did the drone actually still... where did the drone go? Oh, it went back into the main base. Okay, fair enough. Anyways, we used to see this build a lot more frequently is what I'm getting at, though. On the other hand, Zerg players, of course, also got a lot more experience defending these sort of openers, and because of that, yeah, Terrans just haven't been going for these sort of proxy builds all too frequently. However, I guess the newer approach to go for Reaper starts is by building those barracks inside of your own base. Now, of course, that does mean it's a little bit less offensive, right? You're not going to be able to get those Reapers inside of your opponent's base as quickly. But defensively, it's significantly better. One of the problems, and he loses a Reaper right there. That's a little uncharacteristic right there for Micro Jackson. But one of the problems, right, as soon as Zergling speed finishes up, you may end up losing your Reapers. And if you've proxied the barracks, well, good luck trying to defend your bases at home. You're going to have to make the flight of shame. You don't really have a wall set up. You can see ByuN, he's still capable of getting a ton of value out of those Reaper openers, even when they aren't built on the other side of the map. This is honestly going really well so far here for the Terran. Is that a spine? Yeah, it is a spine. Fair enough. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Dark made the assumption that this was going to be a double barracks Reaper opener. So he can see the Reaper, or he can see the barracks right here at the front, but he doesn't know about that one barracks inside of the main base. Right now, he's been able to put one and one together, so he realizes it. But Zergling speed certainly is not as quick as he could have gotten it. And that does mean that these Reapers, they're going to be able to start working on this hatchery. ByuN at this point hasn't seen Lings with their little wings yet, so maybe he assumes that it could even be a Reaper follow-up. He's just trying to get the hatchery right now, which honestly feels a little bit greedy. Metabolic boost, though, at this point is done. We do need more Zerglings. I feel like if ByuN decides to dive on top of the hatchery, he could probably get it, but... of course, this is not the only attack that ByuN has got in store for us. He's still making more and more Reapers. Normally, this would be the moment to transition, though. When you see your opponent has already got the Zergling speed done, usually that's your cue to start getting some other units out in the field as well. Now, one build that was popular about a year ago, you may remember pretty much all of the top-level Terrans executing it, is that Triple Rex, right? The Triple Rex opener against Zerg. Okay, now, he decided to just run all of his Zerglings, or sorry, all of the Reapers up the ramp without high ground vision. So the Lynx got a nice wraparound right there. In the end, though, those grenades were still amazing. Only, well, I guess 4 Reapers ended up going down right there, and he must have gotten at least a dozen Zerglings. Drone was maybe thinking about becoming a hatchery there already, but ByuN still being obnoxious. Anyways, about a year or so ago, we used to see straight triple barracks openers all the time. Oftentimes not with Reaper play, but just straight into a whole lot of Marine production. And I actually really like this follow-up right here from ByuN. So he's decided to go triple CC on the back of this, which is fantastic. But now he's using those 3 barracks he produced earlier to go for the Stimpack upgrade. Now there's, roughly speaking, 2 follow-ups you can do. There's one as soon as Stimpack finishes up, which, judging by the fact he decided to go for double NG Bay, is not the option he will be opting for. I think what he instead is going to do is just keep pumping out more and more Marines. He'll go, yeah, combat shields right here on the back of it, and then 1-1 upgrades inside of these NG Bays. So these Reapers, they're just roaming the map. They're just trying to continuously be annoying. Maybe snipe a creep tumor. Not bad at all. Okay, gets another creep tumor. Gets another one. So obnoxious. This is the advantage of that quick triple CC opener. Anyways, I think he's gonna follow this up with an attack as soon as he gets all of those upgrades done. Then again, though, double medevac is about to spawn. We all know ByuN loves loading units inside of planes and then send them across the map. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to go for some of that as well in this particular game. Anyways, there's the +1 carapace upgrade right here for Dark. So, Dark has decided to not transition towards a lair. Spinecrawler has been tasked with protecting the Overlords. The Overlords are on the high ground right now, so he should be okay. He's delayed the lair in favor of +1 carapace, which is going to be very helpful in the earlier stages of the game. But as soon as, well, 1-1 is done, I actually don't think I like that all too much for Dark. So you have to sort of decide, right? Do I want to get a lair? Oh, this is also not good. No. Do I want to get a lair? Do I want to get the Baneling speed? Or do I opt to go for upgrades first? And Dark decided to go for upgrades first, which will be great in the long run, I guess. But it's going to be very difficult to defend a lot of these Terran timing attacks without the Baneling speed upgrade. Double hatchery in the main base as well. These 2 hatcheries right here are just for larva generation. So that's a big indicator he's going to stick around on Lingbane for a very long time. But yeah, this is where ByuN decides to be annoying. I think he's going to go for a big push here momentarily, though. And this is already a really good trade again. He does end up losing one of the medevacs. Sorry, Jimmy. You weren't close enough to the plane. At least it all gets shut down. Honestly, most Zerg players, even at this level, they crumble under this sort of pressure. But Dark has managed to secure a 4th base. He's going for the roly-poly upgrade right now. He's got a good economy as well, all things considered. I'm still a little concerned for this hatchery over here. So this is where the big attack, yeah, starts moving out. It's not that big because there's units split up, I suppose, but yeah, he's also leaving a lot of units on the table here. I'm a little surprised. Maybe he's concerned for a run-by. Anyways, ooh, Widowmine, Widowmine, okay. Not getting the biggest hit off. I mean, it dealt damage to the Terran units as well. A couple more Widowmines over there, but excellent splits by Dark. There's the Overseer showing up, and he's going to be able to shut this down, yeah. So most Zerg players, even at this level, they crumble under the pressure, but apparently not Dark. Okay, he's coming in once again, though. Target firing down the hatchery. Does he have enough? I think he's actually targeting a couple of the Zerglings there as well, if I'm not mistaken. Not entirely sure, but anyways. Most importantly, right here for Dark, the hatchery still lives. His opponent does have a 4th command center finishing up, but right now, Dark once again has a very solid economy, and he's even a little bit ahead in that department. The Baneling speed is going to finish up as well, the centrifugal hooks. He's transitioning towards Hydroling Bane, and that is a killer unit composition against this sort of stuff. Also because you can transition towards Lurkers, and Lurkers ultimately can shut this aggression from Terran players down really nicely. Still though, the creep spread is not exactly where Dark wants it to be, right? He doesn't really want to be in this scenario. If it's up to him, he would like it already to be at the 3rd base of the Terran, and it's not even remotely close. Banelings though, trying to be annoying, yeah. Widowmines do get pretty decent connections, but they keep dealing damage to the Terran army as well. Okay, 2 more Banelings available right over here. Yeah. ByuN not paying attention to that entirely. Maybe all army hotkeying this medevac as well from the bottom right-hand corner. Okay. The tempo that ByuN had going in his favor earlier is getting shut down more and more. Fourth command center though. Ooh, it is done. And he's morphing it into an orbital command. Now, I love that move, even though it's exceptionally greedy. Look at all these bases for Terran, right? Run by over here. Very easy. Run by over here. Very easy. Even the natural. You could probably do a run by over here and still get Zerglings in. The thing is, because ByuN is continuously aggressive, and this is what he does better than anybody else, because he's always aggressive, he's not really too concerned with a Zergling run by, but if Dark realized what was going on, he would be sending Zerglings over here at the very least. I would love to see a Ling run by, because this is honestly a little bit too greedy. Normally, a planetary fortress would be the preferred choice. Okay, here we go. Now he should be able to finish that off. There you go. This is the job that the Reaper started minutes ago. In StarCraft terms, though, minutes feels like years. Okay, Widowmine over here trying to be annoying. Good detonation there. Good detonations overall, but again, pretty good splits as well by Dark. Hatchery is being remade right away. These Marines are relatively low in hit points, but they have good upgrades. Well, I say that. 2-2 is actually finishing up right after that engagement. Ooh. Okay, that Widowmine detonation just killed a bunch of Medivacs and softened up these two as well. Very impressive defense so far by Dark. I mean, I keep complimenting ByuN on his amazing offense. And I do think he is in a fantastic position right now, but it is so easy to lose. Now, this is interesting. Rather than going for the Lurker then, which is usually the preferred weapon of choice, Dark decides to go Pathogen Lens. That's the Infestor Energy upgrade. So he certainly plans on going Infestors here, but that also means he obviously can't afford Lurkers. At least not yet. Or not just yet. Okay, Medevac over there goes down. A couple units actually got, well, rallied as well into that army, it seemed. Here's once again a push, though. Are they going to be able to shut down his hatchery for a second time? Now, that would be amazing. Zerglings, of course. Ugh, he does get it. Yeah, he is going to get it. Zerglings, of course, can run very rapidly on creep, but these Hydras, they show up after the fight. And that honestly justifies that entire attack. Even though ByuN just ended up misrallying a couple of units, Medevac ended up going down, the Widowmine betrayed him. He still finds himself in a very nice position right now. Also because of the orbital, though. Yeah, look at this roller coaster here. That's basically whenever the mules land. Whenever the mules are available, his income is fantastic. So I think the Infestor choice is probably almost like a bit of a desperation move, right? So Infestors are one of the comeback mechanics for Zerg. Fungal growth can shut down the advancement of that Terran army, and I think that's exactly what the plan is right here for Dark. Hit a lucky fungal, cross your fingers, hope you can connect the Banes. It is difficult for Terran to continue pushing in here. But it's also difficult for Dark to secure more expansions, and right now, I mean, it's 4-base Terran versus 3-base Zerg, and I think we all realize that that is not a good situation for the Zerg, who, historically speaking, should always be at least 1 base up. He's gonna try and take the base down south, I believe, but not enough creep. No. The lack of creep is honestly the result from those Reapers in the earlier stages. Matter of fact, drop here in the main base will get shut down. Push right here on the left side as well also. Okay, good split down that Zergling. Fungal growths! Yeah, that is very dangerous. You don't really need that big of an army right here as the Zerg player to push this back. Now, good splits as well, though, by ByuN. ByuN decides to, yeah, start 2 battles at once, now that Infestors are out. Theoretically, a great choice. Realistically, though, I see this go wrong so often. Especially against someone of the caliber of Dark. When fighting on creep, he should be okay. Fungal, okay, that's a big fungal. Yeah, another big fungal on the back of it, too. Okay, good targeting right there with that 1 siege tank, though, on the low ground. Trying to make the best of this. At the same time, the fight here on the left maybe going a little bit better until the Zerg units do show up. This has been a non-stop battle since, like, literally the 2-minute mark. Kind of insane, right? We're 14 minutes in. No one's really clearly ahead. I think I prefer the position right here for ByuN. I mean, I certainly do. But there is comeback potential still for Dark. Fungal growth once again. He's got a Lurker Den right now as well. He just got 3 Medevacs. That's amazing. He can't afford losing units over here, though. And now there's ghosts in the mix as well. Those ghosts, yeah, okay. As soon as Dark sees the ghosts, he realizes, yo, without Fungal, without Queens, there's nothing I can really do. Lurkers would have been nice to have out at this point, but if you have to reactively make those, it's really not gonna happen. Next up, we find ourselves on Dragon Scales. A little bit of a different opener this time around right here from Dark. Yeah, in that previous game, he fell behind at the very start. He was trying to claw himself back in the game basically for the next 20 minutes, or I don't know how long that game took. Probably the next 12 minutes or so, it's probably more realistic. But anyways, Dark trying his best to get back into it, but in the end he fell short, but only ever so slightly. We once again have a double barrack start right here from ByuN, and I think this opener right here from Dark is going to be quite a bit better now. There's so many holes in this wall. My god, it's all a little bit cursed here. I'm not a huge fan. Also, with this particular spawn location, of course, those add-ons are going to spawn right over here. They're going to be relatively exposed. Link speed, even though I didn't start it up until much later in the previous game, now it has already begun. I think there's a roach warren on the back of it too, because he sent a drone over there to the back of his mineral line, plus he's still mining gas, yeah. Okay, so we've got a hyper-aggressive build here at this time around from Dark. This is the moment where I wish I was able to speak Korean. Maybe somebody in the comment section can let us know. Ooh, Maddox! Maddox coming in clutch. What a Sim City. So wait, ByuN is doing a little bit of self-roasting. Love to see it. We don't see a lot of self-roasting in StarCraft 2, but yeah, he looked at his own wall off over here. He was not all too proud of it. Dark apparently also not entirely sure if it was the best decision. You know what? I think I agree right here with ByuN, because this is going to be kind of difficult for him. There's a bunch... I feel like Zerglings can fit in between there, no? For sure. They definitely can. Anyways, link speed is going to finish up. We have a bunker on the low ground. So ByuN did get a Reaper inside of his opponent's base. He realizes roughly what he's playing against. He knows that there's gonna be roaches on his side of the map very soon. Going concussive shells right here together with marauders and a bunker on the low ground. Now, that is a ByuN move right there to a T. I am not entirely sure what to expect from this. Now, these Reapers, they're just using their grenades on cooldown whenever they can to slow down this push in whatever manner they can. Obviously, you don't want to lose them though, so just pushing this back a couple times can be very helpful. I'd love to see him waiting here on the high ground actually, just to throw a couple more grenades. Anyways, he knows that link speed is not going to be too far behind either, and he doesn't know if there's already Zerglings available at this point. Yep, there's a grenade. I love that. So it's a small move, right? But it buys you a second or two. And this bunker on the low ground is now spotted. Okay. So what exactly do we do against that? You can get an easy wraparound with Zerglings, and they are just about to show up. I like it, but I don't know if it's good, you know? My personal feelings towards a build order are not necessarily always an indicator of how good the build order is. SCVs pulled away right now from their post as well. No longer do they get to mine minerals. Instead, they are tasked with, well, pushing back these roaches. There's a hole in that wall, man. That really makes this rough. This opener's working out right here, well, reasonably well for Dark. Then again, though, it's not like ByuN had a worse economy here to get started with, right? He was already significantly ahead in the worker count. And right now, even after everything is said and done, there's still a lot of Zerglings out on the map, but even after everything is said and done, he's ahead in the workers. Okay. Bit of a disaster over here. But in the end, that worked out really well right there for ByuN. I'm actually surprised how well that worked out. So, the barracks in the main base, it has been tasked with researching the Stimpack research. Fair enough. That means that Marauders, I guess, can be made over here. He could go concussive or he already got concussive shells. He could go combat shields over here in this area if he wants to. But you don't really need to rush out that upgrade. Then again, though, if he starts it up right now, it'll finish up right around the same time as Stimpack, and yeah, that always enables you with a nice timing attack. Zerglings here. They don't have burrow, but they pretend that they do. Trying to get that high ground vision, trying to maybe get a wraparound on a few units, but this is already a very formidable Terran army. Third hatchery has just gone down. Overlords once again moving forward here, trying to get vision around the map, but this is honestly not really that hot here for Dark. No. Going for a quick Zergling speed and a roach push into somebody who's opening up triple Rex, while it allows you to not take damage at home, it also obviously allows a lot of unit production in the meantime on the other side of the map. So I'm not entirely sure if that was the best move right there by Dark. Anyhow, his creep spread is once again atrocious. This hatchery is certainly going to go down. He doesn't need Stimpack for it. I mean, he's got it here if Zerg decides to engage, but yep, not going to happen. Okay. So what's the move, Dark? What are we gonna do? ByuN has not added on a third command center, by the way. So both players sticking around on 2 base economy. Which is probably the result of these two just being too familiar with each other's playstyle, because this is all a little bit weird. No lair for Zerg yet. Yeah, and this is an excellent fight right here for the Terran player. He's going to be able to micro his units back. Excellent stutter stepping, and ByuN obtains the victory in game 2. Now, despite the fact that the triple barracks opener has been very successful so far for ByuN decides to go for a conventional opener right here on the map, Neo-Humanity. So, barracks on the high ground, depots on the high ground, a Reaper on the high ground, and now a command center on the low ground. You can certainly go for a couple barracks over here as well. This is a map that has a relatively quick rush distance, but the slow zone right here in the middle does make it a little complex to go for a very aggressive early game. 6 Zerglings right here for Dark though. Just a very quick link speed. He's once again mixing it up a little bit. No super quick third hatch. No super quick link speed either, but something in the middle of it. He'll go for a third base here momentarily. But first, yeah, he wants to prevent losing anything right here against that very first Reaper. Okay. Back to basics it is. There's the third hatch. Back to basics it is right here for Dark. Dark so far forced to play ByuN's pacing in this game. Okay, or relatively conservative positioning right now on the creep tumor, but making sure it doesn't go down. Okay, I actually really like this here for Dark. No need to get fancy. No need to get too spicy. Just play what you find most comfortable. Try and get into the driver's seat, right? So I guess that's what he tried doing in the previous game, but yeah, he was hoping that his opponent decided to go for, well, this opener in the previous game. Triple barracks into a roach push. Turns out to be pretty dang good for the Terran. Okay, so Lynx are gonna finish up Metabolic Boost, and that's a free mule. That mule just landed. I think we should really target fire down the mule. Really? Yeah, he knows it. He knows that this is a new one. Okay, it does end up going down. So this is already so much better than the previous games we've seen. 5 SCVs, 6 SCVs for 6 Zerglings, plus basically a full mule. That is exactly what you're hoping for. Okay. Dark following this up on the back of it as well with more and more queens. He's gonna get a couple of defensive Zerglings out as well to make sure that these Hellions don't just drive into his natural expansion. Dark though is going up against the Terran now, who has triple command center. So orbital command over here is gonna be amazing. That economical boost here for the Terran is gonna be fantastic. So he's gonna be landing those mules 3 at a time. So even though the economy game right now is heavily in favor of Dark, when the third mule lands, life is gonna be, it's gonna get quite a bit better here for the Terran. Okay. ByuN not really messing around with Battle Mech. Most of the other Terran players seem to be experimenting with that right now. But ByuN just sticking around on the engineering base, the Marines, the Marauders, the combat shields, the Stimpaks, whatever he's been playing over the last decade. Liberator here on the left side of the map, trying to be annoying. It'll probably head on over here towards the natural, but already a Spore Crawler here is ready to greet it. And this is going much better here for Dark. Lair comes up. I'm expecting a Baneling Nest here momentarily as well with his next 50 gas. Spore Crawler over there as well, just to make sure he doesn't lose against anything silly. And look at the creep spread, right? It's already much better than it was in game number 1. And there's not really a whole lot that Terran can do about it either. He decided to go for 4 Hellions. 4 Hellions is not really enough to pressure the Zerg that well. That Liberator also decides to go all the way back home. I think ByuN is saying, yo, I am gonna be the defender this time around. I'm gonna just try and not die to whatever you have got in store for me. But that also means that he's gonna be, yeah, playing a lot more passively, which certainly does not seem to be the type of game that ByuN enjoys playing all too often. Okay, so what exactly is it Dark enjoys? Well, he's gonna finish up the lair. Double macro hatchery in the main base once again. He should go for the Baneling speed upgrade here momentarily. There we go. And as soon as that upgrade finishes up, with good creep spread, there's really not a whole lot that Terran players can start doing against it. Like, if you don't have that tempo advantage early, and you don't continuously pressure the Zerg, it's really hard to, yeah, do damage after the Baneling speed comes up. That's one of the main downsides of going for the triple CC start, I guess. You can match the Zerg player economically, assuming you don't lose 6 SCVs and a mule in the earlier stages of the game, but you can at the very least match them well economically, but you also allow the Zerg to then do whatever they please. Generally speaking, what Zerg like to do is make a lot of drones, make a lot of creep spread, and, well, make a lot of creep spread? You get what I'm trying to say. Make a lot of creep, yeah, just try and dominate the map. That larva mechanic, of course, allowing Zerg to make dozens of workers at once if they need to. And that's exactly what Dark is doing right here. Already, 80 plus workers. I don't think he ever got there in game 1. He certainly never got there in game 2. Another base going up down south. Hive already started here. 7 minutes into the game. Pathogen glands already started again as well. So maybe this is just something that Dark really likes right now. Or maybe specifically against ByuN. Anyhow. Hive starts up before 1-1 is finished, so very quick Hive. In a game like this, I would imagine it's probably gonna be Ultras, but we'll have to see. Could also just be upgrades and Vipers. Okay, creep spread is amazing though, yeah. Widowmine not really getting anything done. This push will be held easy peasy as well. The queens are close, would love to see a round of creep tumors. Yep, there we go. It is not going well here so far for ByuN. It's not like he's in a game-losing position, but he's certainly not in the same spot as he was in the previous game. Creep has been pushing through the center of the map as well. This is usually a pretty good map for Terran. At least I feel like it's pretty good for Terran. I've been playing a lot of ladder again myself lately. I don't like this map against Terran as Zerg. I don't think it's a very easy one to play. One sensor tower over here, one planetary over here, and it feels like they got the entire map covered. Especially if you knock down the rocks here in the center as Terran, it's difficult for Zerg to break that. Okay. So what has this all been leading up to? We've got Hive done right here, Dark. What exactly are we aiming for? Very passive game here from Dark, actually. Kind of surprising. Not normally what he likes to go for. Well, he sees the little research right there of the drilling claws. Okay, we're just gonna try and continue the harassment. That's the plan. Well, 14 SCVs, boom, just like that. Zerglings and Banelings over there, just like that, getting a lot of damage done. 19 SCVs have gone down. There's one combat drone here in the middle of this fight as well. Not very common in StarCraft 2. Combat drones, I guess, more common in real life than they would be in StarCraft 2. 20 SCVs have gone down. To nothing. Like, this wasn't even really supposed to deal damage. This was just Dark, you know, getting out into the map. Doing a little bit of sightseeing. Yeah. Okay, so there's the Ultra Cavern. Now the Infestors are coming up. Adrenal Glands has started. 2-2 has begun. This is the dream of any Zerg. Not the reptile box. I mean, the game. I don't think Dark has lost a single worker. No. This is, yeah, he's lost a lot of Zerglings, I guess. He's gonna lose a drone or two here. Maybe 5. Ooh. No. 1 drone. And a larva. And some damage on the queen, but that's... 2 drones? Okay then, fine. Anyways. Ultra Cavern is going to finish up. And what exactly is there for the Terran against Ultras right now? So ByuN has been trying to play catch-up for a while. He's never seen the opponent's main base, so he has no clue about what's happening. Now, he definitely knows that whatever is happening inside of the main base of the Zerg, be it Lurkers, be it Brute Lords, be it Infestors, be it Vipers, be it Ultras, the one unit that's good against all of that is Ghosts. The question is, can Dark really expect Ghosts already at this point in the game? Because ByuN has only just now secured his 4th. He really needs to get economy going there in order to properly transition towards Ghosts. He definitely has the option right now, but ByuN is going for what he likes to do, and what only really he likes to do. He's going for a double down on Marine Marauder. So no Ghost Academy, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, he wants to defend Ultras and maxed out Zerglings with Marauders. I don't know. I can see one fungal growth landing on the top of that bio army and it being an absolute disaster. And that's exactly what Dark has got in store for us right now as well. The Infestors coming from the back. Okay, the fungal growths weren't perfect. Combat drone also ends up going down right there. Somehow that guy was still on the control group right there with the rest of the Zerg units. Another fungal? Boop. Okay, that one's a whole lot better. Yeah, no. ByuN's trying to make magic happen, but this is tough. And this is honestly all a continuation of him losing 6 SCVs and a mule at the 1 minute mark, or whatever, you know, 2 minutes, I guess. Yeah, no, must have been later. Probably was 2:45. Final answer, 2:45. I'm not exactly sure, but anyways, GG is called, and Dark gets a point on the board. Next up, Royal Blood. Once again, just a conventional opener right here from ByuN. No triple Rex shenanigans. I actually think a triple Rex would be a really good option, but especially when you're 2-0 ahead, I think you could have doubled down on the triple Rex shenanigans. But anyways, conventional build here once again. I think that previous game, though, is a really good example. Whenever you see people on the, I don't know, the YouTube comment section or the Battle.net forums or Reddit or whatever, whenever you see people complaining about balance, right? So you often see like, oh my god, Colossi are so overpowered, or carriers are insane, what in the world? What really happened is that the first 5 minutes of the game went terrible and you fell behind ever since, and then that's ultimately the unit that ended up killing you, but not really the reason why you lost. I think that previous game is a good example that you have to play a very clean first few minutes of a game, because otherwise, yeah, your opponent just gets ahead. And there are combat mechanics, there's certainly combat mechanics in StarCraft 2, but there's also combat mechanics for all 3 races. But that definitely does require you to get maybe a little bit lucky, or your opponent to make a mistake, and Dark showed us, okay, that's how you play out a game. When you get a small lead early on, you build on that lead, and then eventually you overwhelm. Sometimes Dark randomly attacks his own things for just a second. We've seen him shoot at his own overlords, now he attacked his own hatchery there. Brenda is feeling feisty, dude. Okay. Triple CC opener once again right here for ByuN. No starport. It's about time we go for a starport, no? Oh, we're gonna go for additional barracks. Okay. This is one of those builds where you hope that your opponent goes for a roach push. At least that's how it always strikes me. I feel like this is one of those builds where you're hoping, okay, Stipek's gonna finish it up in about 5 minutes. The roach push would also hit at about 5 minutes. Sadly, right here for ByuN, that's not the case. This does mean, though, that, well, we should get medevacs eventually, but they're not gonna be coming out anytime soon. And if I were to make a guess, ByuN's favorite unit is probably the medevac. In combination with Marines, I suppose. A bit weird to have your favorite unit be a medevac, but I see ByuN time and time again enjoy all of the features of the medevac. Now, beautiful scout right here by Dark. Normally, scouts in Zerg versus Terran, they hit a little bit earlier, so 3:45 to 4 minutes is considered to be the standard. But Dark, knowing his opponent very well, decides to go for a little bit of a later scout. Which is interesting. Anyways, he sees exactly what he's playing against. And honestly, what you're primarily looking for right here as Zerg is how many drones you can get away with. So the question is, when exactly is Terran gonna go for a move out, and when do you need to start making army? He could probably keep making drones until like 5:30 or so. And that's gonna give him a booming economy. It's gonna be an amazing eco. So, Roach Warren has come up. No Bailing Nest. Roach Warren it is, together with a lair. So, he's still making drones. He's still making drones. I'm curious to see when he decides to go for unit production here. He's still making drones. My god, he's already at 69 workers. Nice. But I wonder if it's too much. Well, I guess we'll find out. He knows that there's gonna be an attack here from the Terran. Medevacs are coming up right now. Stimpak. I guess you don't really need to make... Yeah. You're not likely to see an all-out push from Terran until 1-1 and Stimpak and combat shields and all that are done. That's not gonna finish until like 6:30. So as long as you really... No way, that's intentional. Nah, that's gotta be a mistake. Tunneling claws without burrow makes no sense anyways, but I also don't think tunneling claws makes any sense in this situation at all. He definitely meant to go roach speed here. Okay, that's a mistake. I'm gonna call that a mistake anyways. So Dark basically drones straight to like 3.5 base saturation. He's even taking the gases over here, so that's a big indicator he wants to go mass Ravager. Maybe that's the plan. Nah, there's no way. There's no reason to go tunneling claws without, nah, I don't like it. I think if ByuN loses this game, he's probably gonna go triple Rex again the next one. That's the only thing that makes sense. I don't like this passive approach so much from Dark. Or, sorry, from ByuN. I like it a lot from Dark. I think what Dark is doing here is playing into his own strengths. And while maybe the game is a little bit less explosive, maybe not as much fun to watch as when, well, ByuN was microing Reapers on the other side of the map. This is clinical precision right here from Dark. So now he's gonna figure out that his units are gonna get extra spikes. There you go. There's no way. Yeah, no, he starts off roach speed right away. And now he's going for the burrow of shame. He's like, well, I guess I got the wrong upgrade. May as well make use of it. He's, by the way, gone melee upgrades together with Carapace, which is a little funny. That's an indicator he wants to transition towards other units eventually, be it Lings, Banes, Ultras even. Because the Roaches, of course, don't benefit from melee upgrades. So he's gonna have something in store for us. Now he goes for the missile. I can never quite wrap my head around Dark's decision making when it comes to upgrades. One problem right now, though, is that Dark can't disengage. Without Roach speed, how in the world are you gonna disengage this? Well, looks like he doesn't need to. Nope, he's just had such an amazing economy for such a long time that he just has too many units. This passive opener from ByuN really doesn't suit him. Yeah, other Terran players tend to make this work, but maybe he wasn't expecting a roach push though, right? There's definitely a chance you expect that you expect the Baneling shenanigans. Okay, well, we do have a stim forward, but this is one hell of a fight. Roach speed is gonna finish up right now. It's so funny how he hasn't finished that yet. The thing is, even if ByuN cleans all of this up, we're still talking a significantly better economy right here for the Zerg player compared to the Terran. Although, yeah, no, Zerg is losing a lot of expensive units here. That Siege Tank still in the back, still alive, 12 confirmed kills. Most of that is going to be Roaches and Ravagers. Okay. Yeah, no, he gets spotted there because of that missile turret guy. Fair enough. So Dark hasn't really made that many drones though. I'm making it sound like his economy is amazing, but he's got 70-something workers, and he's just gonna double down on... He wants to get that tank so bad. He's gonna get it. He's just gonna double down on the Roach Ravager production. Yep. So, +1, +2 is about to finish up. Dark's once again close to maxing out. I think we're gonna go for wave 2. Well, you should really wait. Should really wait until these upgrades are done, but I guess he might just have the numbers. Yeah, if you see that the units are mostly unprotected, you may as well. Now +1 missile has finished up. +2 Carapace is going to kick in as well momentarily. Normally it's advisable to wait until those upgrades are done, but when you have about as many Roaches as there are Marines, oh, when you can bow down Medevacs, life is pretty good as the Zerg. Yeah, so what I would love to see in the final game of this series is ByuN going back to what worked really well for him in game 1 and 2. Okay, well, that's another option. ByuN decides, you know what, my opponent seems to be playing macro now. I'm gonna go command center first. So, here we go, the rubber match. We find ourselves on Gressven. And it turns out it is indeed a hatch into a gas, into a pool. So I think the command center first will be indeed okay. He's not gonna get punished for it, but this is certainly a little bit risky, right? When you're 2-0 ahead, Your opponent manages to even up the score and they decide to go CC first. After Dark has already shown us some very early game shenanigans with Zerglings. That is pretty cute. Anyways. Double gas on the back of it right now as well here for ByuN. Okay, we're still gonna go for a lot of barracks production. Interesting. Interesting. I sound like the Harry Potter sorting hat. Interesting. Economically focused, yet aggressive. You will be put in Terran! The StarCraft 2 sorting hat. It will be fantastic, yeah. Interesting. Cheesy, yet lasers. You will be Protoss! Only the worst of players will get put in Zerg. Yeah, only the lunatics get... maybe a little bit of bias coming in right there for me, okay? I pretty much exclusively play Zerg. I've played a lot of Terran and Protoss as well over the years, but... There's something about Zerg, man. There's something about Zerg. I try my very best to not be biased, but... I do love these little guys right over here running across the map. Already, we have a lot of Zerglings, actually, so... Dark has seen that there's not really that much... Well, coming across the map, so he decides to make a bunch of links. Yeah, no wall off at the front. He's gonna see the finished orbital command here. Okay. He's gonna see the finished orbital. Link speed is finishing up as well momentarily. Stimpack already started up. So, I guess this is a CC first into a 2-1-1. Nope. Maddox! Maddox! ByuN's trying to taunt him. Stop it. Dark says lol. Oh, well, I'm busy. Here we go. There's actually now a lot of Zerglings, though. Maybe ByuN was busy, but this is actually quite a bit of damage. Shout out, by the way, to Maddox for translating some of the text here. Maddox has been a translator at tournaments, but I know he also commentates quite a few games. Got to meet him at quite a few tournaments. Anyways, this was a pretty big Zergling commitment though here from Dark. Okay, this feels like a Dark game again. After game 1 and 2, he probably felt a little, yeah, a little uneasy. Game 3 and 4, he decided to play as standard as he can. Game 5, we've got Dark back. Yeah, making an uncommon amount of Zerglings here in the earlier stages of the game. Knowing the rules of the game, but then breaking them. Okay. Yeah, this is so annoying. This is very reminiscent of what we saw earlier already in this series as well, when Dark also got a bunch of damage done in the earlier stages. Now, this is off of a CC first, so it is a little bit easier for ByuN to catch back up, but I say that, there's also no third command center this time around. And without a third CC, this Stimpack medevac drop is gonna have to deal with a stupid amount of damage. Now Stimpack finishes up, that's a good indicator, but already 11 Marines have gone down. Normally, those Marines don't start trading until they get the medevac and until they get the Stimpack. Are we still gonna go for a Marine drop? Well, it's ByuN, so he's getting medevacs right now. He'll definitely load those units into a plane and get some work done, but I don't love it. Are we not gonna... Okay, we're gonna go for the Overlord and then we load the units up, right? Come on, ByuN. You can resist the temptation? Oh, alright, ByuN. We have some real character development right here in one series. I feel like in game number 1, ByuN would have 100% loaded these units into the planes. But not this time around, man. One of my favorite episodes. Oh, no, never mind. One of my favorite episodes of the StarCraft anime. Okay, well, Dark was still, yeah, running Zerglings around, so he sees the medevac drop coming in. This push is so late, though. Normally, this attack hits at 5 minutes and 10 seconds with 16 Marines. Now we're hitting, well, 50 seconds later with... This is not 18 Marines. There's a lot of Marines at home. Plenty of Queens available. Yeah, brilliant defense right here by Dark, as expected. We should really be thinking about making a 4th hatchery already if he wants to. So, we're going 1-1. Lara's about to finish up. I'm assuming we'll see Glio Reconstitution, not Tunneling Claws right away as soon as that upgrade is available. So when the Lara finishes. And I think we're gonna see an all-out assault from Dark as soon as... Yep, there it is. As soon as these upgrades finish up. So, just like combat shield, Stimpack, and +1, right? We see that push all the time from Terrans. This is the classic Zerg timing attack. With 1-1 and roach speed. It hits like an absolute truck. Like those roaches, they get a massive power spike. And Dark is doing a fantastic job. He's opted not to go for the 4th hatchery though, so that makes this push a little bit all-in-y. He's preparing overlords right now in advance as well. Okay, ByuN now sees that there's no 4th no 4th hatchery here, so that should be a clear indicator. It's gonna boost it over towards the natural, fair enough. Sometimes these marine drops can keep the Zerg player occupied on their side of the map for a long time. And if that's the case, sometimes they can actually delay this push for such a long time that Zerg players decide not to go for it again. So there's, broadly speaking, 2 variations of this push for Dark. Either you hit right when the upgrades are done, or you sit back and wait until you're fully maxed out. Either way, Dark has now been making units though for such a long time already that he needs to get something done. Yeah, if you could buy a medevac, that would be GG. But I don't think that should happen. I may as well know. Take a lucky shot. Okay, 1-1 is finished. Roach speed is done. $159 supply versus 127. I don't think this is the time to send medevacs back home, to be honest. But yeah, I guess the Zerglings in the main base are doing a little dance. He's still making more roaches, okay. So Dark seems to be going for an in-between option. The problem with going for the maxed out version is that there's going to be a lot of siege tanks. So already, he actually decided to move that tank from there. Interesting. Anyways, already we have 4 tanks available. Zerglings ready to soak up a couple of those hits. And this is apparently the push that Dark has been building up for. Can he land the corrosive bowels in the right place? Well, this is an incredibly Ravager-heavy army right here on the left, which works out quite well right there for the Terran. And now suddenly, though, there's also units coming in on the right. Okay, beautiful bowels there. Flawless bowels right there from the Zerg. Oh my god, really nicely done. ByuN wanted to jump on that Ravager-exclusive army, but now he's only got 1 tank. 12 drones on the back of it right now as well, though, for Dark, who decided to go for 2-2. So maybe his original intention was to win the game with that attack. Didn't really work out, but he's got a transition planned as well. Interestingly enough, he decided to take the hatchery over here forward. So he decided to go for the forward base. I think over here or maybe over there would have been a little bit easier, but fair enough. This is a more aggressive version for sure. Commonly, the follow-up here is either more Roach Ravager or Roach Hydra. I think Roach Hydra would be an excellent option too. One problem though you do kind of run into is that you don't have a hive. So if ByuN can hold on for a little bit longer, if he can hold the 2-2 attack as well, he's going to be able to go straight into 3-3 research himself. But Dark will need to go for a hive first, which is a real opportunity for ByuN to get back into this. Also, right now, Dark is already maxed. But his army is not gonna really get any stronger other than upgrades, right? Like Roaches and Ravagers, they're very supply heavy. ByuN is still securing more and more units. He's still on, yeah, okay, 1 factory. He just finished up the 2nd factory. Would have loved to see that 2nd factory a little bit sooner, but we have a Doom Drop headed towards the main base. Marines, Marauders, Medevacs. A classic unit composition. Some units are going back home, but a lot of units are coming to watch the other side of the map. For some reason, a couple of the tanks right there are unsieged. I think all of the siege tanks were unsieged. Reinforcing units are going to be available in the main base. Drones are also tasked with fighting. Now Roaches and Ravagers, though, are breaking into the natural. That siege tank on the high ground is going to get balled down as well. Brilliant move right there by Dark. Medevac drop in the meantime has moved on down towards the low ground, towards the triangular 3rd base. Roaches and Ravagers trying to maximize their damage here. A lot of very low units right here for ByuN, but he's making the best of this. 26 SCVs. 19 drones have gone down. 2-2 though finishes up right now, and this is where Dark suddenly is so much more powerful, and I believe he's done it. After being 2-0 behind, it seems to me that Dark has managed to turn this series around with a reverse sweep. Not something that we see very often, especially at this level of play. Winning 3 games in a row against somebody of ByuN's caliber is essentially unheard of, but Dark is getting it done right now, trying his best to force his way up the ramp to get on top of all of that Terran production. The Marine drops are still going to town though. A lot of drones are being killed. This could get a little bit awkward as Dark is now actually committing all of his units to the counterattack. Apparently, he's smelling blood in the water. He's realized, okay, as long as I've got all my units inside of my opponent's base, there's no way I'm going to lose. Then again, though, yeah, base racing in Terran can be a little bit dangerous because Roaches and Ravagers have no way to kill flying structures. No, as long as they're at least in the corner of the map. But GG is called as Dark comes back after being 2-0 behind. Hey, real quick, if you made it all the way onto the end of this video, please take the 1 second that it takes to hit the like button. Thank you!